the 2-5. And this is the way Kelly's got a pattern, I think. He's sort of loosey-goosey early in the match with himself, his body, the way he moves around. And then at the end, he really concentrates.
You're right. Likeable guy.
And he's done that before, too.
Robert, what advice could you really give Kelly? I know he's bowling for a title, but he has really struggled with spares in the championship match.
Well, I noticed in Kelly's game, a lot of times he'll shoot spares straight and hard at him, and a lot of times he'll hook at him, and I think he needs to go one way or the other.
Good point right there, to get a definite game plan. Now, here's the player of the year trying to win his second championship of the year.
Amleto Monacelli, Barquisimeto, Venezuela.
The style of Amleto Monacelli, that open hand, very similar to Mark Roth when he was going so well, then the tremendous wrist action and he's using a very soft ball speed. Look at how wide he's swinging it in all that oil. He has found a way to overcome that heavy oil condition. And do you think he's made the right move, Robert?
I think going with a softer surface ball is going to get him there because the shiny balls are just skidding out.
Good point. Second frame.
He's been a factor all year after winning Player of the Year titles consecutively. 4th TV this year, 1st at Quaker State, 4th at Bud Light, 5th at the Leisure Long Island Open. Going against this exciting non-winner, Kelly Coffman.
Well, that's a
big trouble here, the 4-6 split. And he's going against Monacelli, who has started with a double. The only thing he can do here is just throw at one of these two pins and hopefully bounce something out of the pit.
Not have any pace on the ball, Bo?
Well, it's about 22, 23 miles an hour. And you know, an effective strike ball, Chris, has to be rolled between 16 and 19. Right now, Coffman up near that 19 miles an hour hasn't been very effective. Monacelli down around 16. Now, if you go less than 16, the ball wanders. If you throw harder than Kelly Coffman's throwing, the ball doesn't take the natural break of the length.
And here we have a 2-4-5 in the left lane for Kelly. Kelly with 2 victories coming into the final.
2-4-5. All he has to do is get the ball in this area and just drive the 2-5 out, taking the 4. Remember, this is his combination he chopped in the first frame.
Now 29-year-old Amleto Monacelli at 5'8", 950 pounds. Double up shooting in the 3rd frame of this championship game of the True Value Open. Well, there goes our last chance to give a check for $200,000.
Oh, that's a
Monacelli with a really bad break here, an unusual 4-5-8 split. All he has to do is get the ball right between the 2 pins and hopefully take out the pins, but it's unusual. You got to forget about the 8 pin and go for the 4-5. What do you think, Robert? A power player doesn't leave that very often.
I left that spare a couple of weeks ago and had no clue of how to shoot at it, and he did it the right way.
Power players very seldom leave spares or splits like the 4-5-7, the 4-5, the 5-7 or 8-10. Monacelli shows that he's got all the shots in his bag. He leads by 29.
Leaving a 4-pin. Amleto, who finished second 6 times before he won his first title in Japan. Talk about concentration, dedication, perseverance. A little tired now, he told me, and is going to take a week off after the U.S. Open. His wife, Teresa, has gone back to Venezuela. We'll be back. 6'10", struggling in the championship match against Amleto Monacelli. Sitting in with Bo and me, last year's True Value winner from Austin, Texas, Robert Lawrence.
Robert, the deep inside line looks like the best shot. What do you think, pal?
I think it's the safest shot to the pocket. The ball speed looks very critical today.
Good point.
Amleto Monacelli described to us earlier the problem he experienced here in Peoria in 1989.
Well, that day when I came to the bowling center, I went to look for my bowling balls and they weren't there. So I started panicking. I didn't know what happened, and I found out they sent it to the next stop, which I don't know. I mean, it just felt really bad, and I had to do 2 bowling balls that day, and they didn't really feel good. They were dull, and the lanes were hooking, and I mean, everything was terrible. I just I didn't know what to do. I was scared, and when I went to bowl, I said, well, do the best you can, but it wasn't enough. I mean, my mind wasn't relaxed at all, and I lost the game.
Okay.
Well, Chris, all the bowling balls for most of the players are transported by our player services director, Larry Lichstein, and once again, Monacelli was uncomfortable with the 2 new bowling balls. That's very understandable.
Amleto, who was second in a U.S. Open, 5th in a PBA National, really looking forward to next week, hoping to get that major.
You're right. And look at the difference in the lanes. You saw Monacelli average 261 on this championship here, and Kelly Coffman, a deep inside line around the ball return.
His first strike in this match coming in the 6th frame. Look out.
A point to make here, you can use as much of the approach as you want on any particular shot as long as you don't interfere with a player on your left or right. So Kelly Coffman using the full approach, the extreme inside line. But as you said, Chris, this is where he starts to make his move, and it's imperative he does it right now. He has never been 32 pins behind, and it's Monacelli as the opponent. Big frame.
As we said, relax early and get with it later. And a little help, Robert.
A lot of help there.
Watch this pin action off the right-hand part of the screen. It's the 3-pin, goes to the sideboard, takes out the 4-pin. An unusual strike. Coffman's back in the match. Robert, that's similar to the shot you played to win last year, isn't it?
Yeah, they were so tight, the ball just seemed to fall back all the way down the lane, and with just a little bit of break at the end.
I think you made an excellent point there about the ball speed being critical. If you throw it too hard, it slides out. Too slow, it hooks high, but Monacelli seems right on. Has a chance to put this match 32 pins ahead with a strike here in the 8th.
Amleto shooting for his 2nd win this year. Started out with a victory at Quaker State, 4th in the Bud Light, 5th at the Long Island Open.
Watch the pin action on the left-hand part of your screen. Once again, the head pin will go to the sideboard and stop the 5-pin from taking out the 7. There it goes to the sideboard and drives over and drives the 4 and the 7. And once again, we've almost seen Monacelli miss spares in the left-hand corner, so he'll go right at the 7-pin.
For Monacelli. For a lot of players this week, 300 games were something, and Bo and Robert, those top 2, that has to be a big thrill.
Back-to-back 300 games, unusual, has happened before. Look at Art Trask, 300 in there, one of the veterans. Now Kelly Coffman has a chance to make it a tight match, 8th frame.
Broke up the split.
Not much you can do. The professional bowlers, when they get loose, they can throw strikes on any lane condition, but here they're struggling. Coffman expects this ball to what we call set up, doesn't, cuts through the back end, almost leaves the 4-9, simple spare, 8th frame.
Next week, it's the United States Open at Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis.
Second jewel in bowling's Triple Crown, and then we finish it off with a third jewel of bowling's Triple Crown, April 27th with the Firestone Tournament of Champions. Our first jewel of the Triple Crown won by Mike Miller last week, the PBA National. Now Coffman has a chance to make it a match, 9th frame.
Coffman again. That's flying fast.
Robert, that would have been a key shot for him, don't you think?
I think he got a little fast with that one. He wanted that one too bad, I think.
And that's something that anybody would like to have, is they want it too much. What he needs to do is get the ball right in here and carry out the 2-5 into the 4. He's missed this once and converted it twice today.
We're in Peoria, Illinois. Been coming here since 1982. City that's come back with the help of Ray Becker, proprietor here, and their popular mayor, James Maloof. And the Knight, looking for his 11th championship in a career spanning 10 years.
42 games, 18 qualifying. Ray Edwards led the first part of the match play, and then Monacelli took over. And Robert Lawrence, as it looks like Monacelli's going to go to the title, you notice he's improved his finish off at the line. Remember, he used to fall off balance a lot. And now he's lower, he's on balance, and he's holding that follow-through just a little bit tougher than he used to be. What do you think?
I think he's real solid at the line, and a lot of that has to do with his physical conditioning now, and that just really helps his balance.
And his pocketbook's going to help by $39,000. He's going to clean up this title, his second of the year, right here in the 10th.
Oh,
The difference of 19,000 winning or being the runner-up. So if that shot, that doubled it into the game. Amleto Monacelli with his brother Rodolfo, another PBA member, looking on 11 titles for the back-to-back player of the year.
Well,
Okay, we're in Peoria. We're going back to New York, and here's a player